Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at Underdog Fantasy, promo code OFFSGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cashback rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet and use the promo code SGPN.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Old-fashioned football.
You make this deal right now, you pancake-eating mother.
All right, deal.
Old-fashioned football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you're listening to, this is JMark. You can find me in the X at JMark Football. And if you're wondering who us is, because it has been a little bit since we've talked some football, this is at Old Fashioned FB on the X. And I got it before we talk NFC, free agency recap, a little bit of division winner bets, and some whiskey, of course. Got to bring in my co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on the X at the Mir. Mark. How you doing today?
Doing great. It's a Friday. It's a weird day for a podcast for us.
It is.
But I'm digging it.
Friday,
rolling into
day.
the weekend with some football.
It's always good to start the weekend with a little whiskey. I mean,
and that too.
Yeah. Shout out to NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Gonna go ahead and assume that it's Mr. Cody Zeeb says, let's go. Good to catch you guys live. It's good to have you here, and make sure you check out the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, because those guys are fucking fire. Rod and Cody, they know their shit about the guys driving around making left turns over and over. That's what I always give them crap for NASCAR. We're back to our regular.
You're having issues today.
I am.
For a moment, I thought you were telling people they could get $1,000 worth of crap or whatever.
I think
you said.
I accidentally said crets.
I was like, "What is going on?"
Yes. It's been a long week.
It has been, but we got to be here.
We're here.
If I'm here.
It has been a long week. Family stuff, and happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to my dad. Happy belated birthday to me, and happy birthday,
Katie.
Yeah.
Are you going to shout out to Katie?
That's what I was getting ready to do. I don't know if you remember, we did a podcast on her birthday last year too, because I remember we shouted her out. Anyways, like I was saying, back to our regular scheduled programming. We've kind of been hit and miss. We talked a little March Madness last time you saw us, but it's NFL time.
It is.
So, we do have distillery episodes coming up too. Not sure on the scheduling there, but we are going to have those. And today, Mer, what are we talking about?
We're talking, I think you might have mentioned this already, but we're talking NFC free agency changes.
Yeah. Not a lot of huge moves, I wouldn't say.
No.
Nothing that really was holy shit. How did that happen? But I mean, there were some important ones. So we'll get into that for each team.
Yep, each team.
Just brief recap. We're not hitting every single
I was
player.
going to say, there's 16 of them. We've got to get through them.
Yeah. We're not hitting every single player that they added either, just the big names. And also, what are we drinking today?
Well, this one, I was excited to try this until we did the research, but I really like it. So we are drinking Bluestone Manor. It's their maple cask, like their maple cask finished.
Yeah.
But when we did the research, and then this was a bottle we just happened to come across and get.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can even get it anymore. So that was also something like, oh man. But I really like it. We had my mom try it more recently. She really liked it. So
I think my parents enjoyed it. I think they tried
I don't
it.
know.
I think they did.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
I don't know either.
Wait, we opened it with them, didn't we?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes. Okay.
The camera, if you're on YouTube, obviously picking up the fly that is flying around in the room. He's been driving me nuts. This is my office. He's been driving me nuts all day. I don't know why I didn't bring the cat in here to get him. She's an excellent hunter. I should have done that. I didn't. So if you see the fly drinking around, flies like whiskey too.
Did you say drinking around?
Flying around.
Are you okay? I'm really getting concerned about you.
I promise I haven't started the drinking yet. It's just hard to talk, I guess.
Apparently.
Before we jump into it, gotta let you know, Augusta is right around the corner. That's a golf thing. And ESPN is back with Splash Sports for a big contest, up to $30,000 in prizes. Only a $25 entry fee. Get in today at splashsports.com/SGPN. That's splashsports.com/SGPN. Tune into the Golf Gambling Podcast, the Steffi Small Show, and the Bottom Line Bombs, the man in the box for all your Masters picks. Don't forget to go over there unless you're in Iowa, because you can't do Splash Sports in Iowa, apparently, because we hate fun.
Apparently.
Thank you, Governor Reynolds.
Calm down. Calm down.
I won't bring politics into it.
Take a turn.
I'm clearly drunk already, Cody pointing out. You know what? I made it through splashsports.com/SGPN, and I struggled with that last time. So I'm going to go ahead and say,
Sports.
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say kudos to me, I guess. And also don't forget, shout out to our unofficial sponsor, Liquid Death.
Liquid Death scared you for a moment. They changed to the 12-ounce cans.
But I couldn't find
But in the meantime, we were up in Des Moines. You went to Target. You went to 2 different gas stations up there. We came back home. You checked out the gas stations here. And you're having a moment of panic.
Yeah,
and I didn't know what to do
stuff.
for you. We looked at Whole Foods in Des Moines too, because they sell that. They sell the Liquid Death, just the mountain water, the sparkling one.
Yeah.
You panicked.
I did a little
but
bit.
they came through for you. They're just changing it up.
And I don't like these little cans because I drink them a little too fast. There's something about they're more refreshing or something. I don't know. But also shout out to Liquid Death. I mean, my dad wasn't able to have food for a while. Finally could have water. Wanted something a little fizzy. Didn't like the Starry or whatever they had.
I thought, time out.
Yeah.
We had this conversation when you got back.
Yes.
I thought Starry was Sprite. I thought Sprite changed to Starry.
There's no Sprite anymore?
I don't know. Am I wrong? Because I thought I saw my cousins drinking a Starry and I was like, what the heck is that? And I thought they said it was Sprite and it's now Starry, but maybe I'm wrong. Is there just a new pop called Starry now?
I thought it was like some off-brand.
It's Sierra Mist?
Oh, Starry is Sierra Mist.
So there's no Sierra Mist anymore.
No, it is
Starry. I don't think I've
now.
seen Sierra Mist in forever anyway.
Right.
So yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So Pepsi makes it. So there still is Sprite.
Right.
And
I told you were crazy.
So that means Coke. I don't know pop. I don't drink pop. So I don't know my pops. But I'm not crazy. I was correct that Starry is now what something else was.
I said that. Anyways, what I was getting at is my dad, who had nothing, basically took a drink of this and he's like, there's no taste. And then by the third drink, he's like, there's something weird that it's really refreshing. So shout out to Liquid Death. Good. Yeah. What's up to Jamie? Where we been? We've been a little bit everywhere. Not really. We've been here, but
we've had I don't know, between February and March, we just had a lot of stuff happen. A lot of not necessarily fun things happen, and it kind of took us away for a little bit. But
yeah.
We're good.
And Coke makes Sprite. We should have asked Cody to begin
he's
with.
Here to correct us.
He works in the beverage industry. So he knows this shit.
Yes.
Mainly in the beer industry, I believe, but he obviously knows his pop dealers as well. Let's jump right into the NFC
pop
North,
dealers.
shall we? The
He
pop
knows his dealers.
He knows his dealers. Support your local beer dealer. That's what I'm going to say for Cody. Let's start with the NFC North.
You want to kick it off with the Bears?
I want to kick it off with the Bears.
I knew there wasn't a chance I'd get to cover them. So.
Absolutely not. No. New head coach Ben Johnson is in town. We did just going over some highlights of the wide receivers. Of free agents. We did sign some wide receivers. Devin Duvernay, Olamide Zacchaeus. I don't expect them to make a huge impact, to be honest. But Olamide is a good third wide receiver, a good wide receiver 3. Offensive line, though, that's where we focus. We traded for guards Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney. We signed the best center in the free agency, Drew Dahlman. And then defensive tackle Grady Jarrett. We signed him. We signed Deo Odeyingbo. Hopefully I said that right. So those are the main signings.
Can you say it again?
I can't say it.
Odeyingbo.
Thank you.
I just wanted to hear it again. Continue. You said it correct. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say you said anything correctly.
We just make names up here.
I know someone will correct us. We can count on everybody out there. If we say anything wrong, we will know.
It does seem to happen that way. just looking at big picture, full story here, they beefed up the trenches. We beefed up the offensive line to protect Caleb Williams. Obviously was very important to do that looking at last year. And then the defensive line, it should be better at getting pressure on the quarterback. Team needs going into the draft. We need an edge rusher, another one, a running back, I think. Ben Johnson, we saw he likes 2 running backs with David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. Really, what we have DeAndre Swift. Don't start on Roschon Johnson. He's trash. We could use a safety and offensive line depth. Obviously, as a Boise State fan, I'm hoping that Ashton Genty is there in the draft, but we'll see. And my dad pointing out we did sign Case Keenum today or yesterday, one of those.
This week.
I think that's good depth for our backup quarterback. I mean, good signing there. Looks like Cody is planning on a NASCAR race in Iowa. So, and Roschon is God, Jamie says. I knew that would get Jamie. That's mainly why I said it. Better
get him riled up.
Yeah, better days ahead for the Bears. Do you want to talk about the line? Do you have something in there? Did the fly hit you?
No, but I feel like I'm crying.
The fly flew by, punched her in the eye.
It did.
You want to talk about the Lions a little bit?
Yeah, if you get to talk about the Bears, I'm claiming the Lions. Not that I would be a Lions fan.
But last year you were like, well, now that the Bears aren't in it, I'm rooting for the Lions.
Well, yeah, I liked their offense. No. Okay, just calm down. Lions defense, they added cornerbacks DJ Reed and Rakia Sin. It sounds the two of them. It sounds like a DJ duo though. Think about in a club.
Yeah.
DJ Reed.
Everybody give it up for DJ Reed and Rakia Sin.
There you go. I
get it.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
No.
They also
where are all the listeners going? No.
Leaving. I'm out. They also added defensive tackle Roy Lopez. They re-signed linebacker Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
And their edge rusher Marcus Davenport.
Yeah. I believe he played for the Roadrunners, but anyways, go on. UTSA Roadrunners, I think. Go on. Sorry.
Okay. There's really, no notable changes on offense. Not that they need to make changes.
Right.
But don't call me a Lions fan. The defense has some additions, but nothing that I feel like there's nothing here that's going to make huge impacts. I mean, can the best NFC North team keep it up without Ben Johnson calling their plays?
That'll definitely be interesting to see how much they're impacted by him leaving, because he's considered one of the better play callers. So
yeah, and then I feel like some needs here, like guard, edge rusher, linebacker, wide receiver.
Yeah. I agree. They need a solid. Doesn't have to be like the main guy at wide receiver, but a solid wide receiver 3. I'll talk about the Packers.
Yeah, you took the Bears. You have to take the Packers now.
It's like you get the good and then you get the shit. Packers didn't do much. I mean, they signed Nate Hobbs, cornerback. They signed guard Aaron Banks. That was about it. I know they signed Mecole Hardman. I'm not really going to highlight that. That's not a highlight. So it was fairly quiet. They do need wide receiver, edge, and cornerback. I just feel like maybe they should have done a little bit more. As a team that's looking to keep up in this NFC North race with the Lions and with the Bears, who, I mean, they are improving, in my opinion. It felt like they should have done a little bit more, but they didn't. So we'll see how they do with the draft. They do draft very well usually. I said a good thing about the Packers. I'm done now.
When you're doing your mock draft, you're like, oh, I have to give this guy to the Packers.
It's like, damn it, this is a good pick, but I have to do it without the bias. Yeah.
I don't even remember who it was, but you just were sitting at the counter just complaining as you're writing your mock draft.
I know.
Freaking out. I was like, calm down, pick somebody else then.
I can't though. That's what they should do.
Let's talk about the Vikings. So they've lost Sam Darnold and they're going to be rolling with JJ McCarthy as their starter unless Rodgers is still floating around.
Rodgers is a floater.
So, yeah, maybe he signs with them. I don't know. Does he want to go to the Vikings? Does he want to be back in the NFC?
I mean, that would complete the Favre journey, right?
It would.
Favre went Packers, Jets, Vikings. That would complete it for him.
That's weird. Is that not weird?
It's very weird.
I don't know. Anyway, they also re-signed running back Aaron Jones. They traded for 49ers running back Jordan Mason. What do you think of that?
It's an underrated move, I feel like. I think they gave up a 5th for him, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron Jones, there's some questions about his knee. We saw Jordan Mason for the Niners when he was healthy. He could handle the workload.
He could put up, not to go fantasy on you here, but he could put up the points that CMC was putting up.
You're always going fantasy on me, baby.
Know. What? Okay. I don't even.
Now she's flustered.
They also, we're just moving on. They also signed guard Will Fries and center Ryan Kelly for their offensive line. They signed defensive tackles Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave.
Vikings were busy.
They were. There's more. There's more that they did.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, Billy Mays here. They signed cornerbacks Jeff
Okudah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okudah. Saving me. Isaiah Rodgers as well. They re-signed cornerback Byron Murphy and safety Harrison Smith. I feel like just looking at this overall, the Vikings did good building in the trenches. To quote you about trenches.
Football's one in the trenches, in my opinion.
It is. But I think again, like the main question is going to be around last year's rookie, JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
He's coming back from his preseason ACL injury. And then I don't know. We're keeping an eye, unfortunately, keeping an eye on the Rodgers situation. There's always every season, every preseason, every in-season, there's always a Rodgers situation.
There always will be until he retires.
We'll be bringing you whatever happens. He's not retiring though. He's not this year. He doesn't want to retire.
Adam Schefter reported that he doesn't know if Rodgers wants to play this year. Maybe he wants a year off. It does seem like his body is a little more fragile than it used to be. We'll say that.
But you take a year off at his age. Do you come back and you're not coming back as a spring chicken?
No, he's not anyways, whether he takes it off. However, I was going to say Adam Schefter and Aaron Rodgers do not get along either,
No, they don't. I was also going to say, can you trust that? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Is he just like trying to rile him up? Because I think he likes that. I think he enjoys riling him up.
Yeah,
I would. Anyway, I think, the Vikings need to look kind of at cornerback, defensive backfield upgrades, running back, and obviously the quarterback depth. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who's going to be that QB2?
Yeah, because they need somebody in case McCarthy does struggle. I mean, we've not really seen him play in the NFL yet, so they definitely need that. Let's break down the division betting here real quick, just to give out the odds. Lions plus 135 to win the division. Packers are plus 275. Vikings 4-1 at plus 400, and then the Bears at the bottom plus 425. I don't agree with that pricing. I think the Bears are going to do better than the Vikings this year. I don't know how you don't go with the Lions. The Lions seem like they're going to win this division again. I don't think the Packers did enough to surpass them, and I don't think the Vikings or Bears are there.
No, and the Vikings not with their quarterback situation. I just don't know. I don't feel safe there.
Safe. I couldn't find it yet, but later, closer to the season, you can pick exacta of how it will go. Me, I would go Lions, Bears, Packers, Vikings. I know somebody's going to come in here and argue that it should be Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings.
I'm on the fence. Both of them, maybe do both because I agree. Lions are at the top.
Yeah. Well, we agree on that at least. Nick pointing out that the 49ers got a 2025 fifth round pick and a 202.05 sixth round pick. They won't get to use that for 20,000 years or however long that is. They got a fifth and a sixth rounder for Jordan Mason. So
you could just not be a dick, Justin, but fine.
I have to give Nick crap. He would expect it. Before we keep going, I'd
also like to point out that he's listening to us on Katie's birthday.
Well, maybe she's working. You
should be spoiling her.
He's probably working and listening to us. So, Nick, we appreciate you.
Yeah, that's true. He's not off the clock. He's still on the clock on a Friday night.
Yeah. So Nick, we appreciate you here, despite what she's saying.
I'm not trying to tell you to leave.
Before we keep going, I want to let you know that we're brought to you by Edge Boost. SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstake site, racetrack, casino, or just your local Subway. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And you know your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. The best part is there's no credit checks and it's completely free. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Then you can go on over and use it as at MyBookie, because we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet every sport, including Crown College basketball games. Can't find a lot of places to bet that. Plus, they got props for every game. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. All you got to do is head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Should we move on? Move right into the next?
We got to keep going if we're getting through 16 teams.
You want me to start it? You want to start it?
You go. Take
All
the
right,
Eagles.
I'm going to talk really quick because Miranda wants us to keep going fast. I'm going to talk like the auctioneer here. Oh, no. Let's talk about the Eagles, who obviously are the returning Super Bowl champions. They extended Saquon Barkley, which was, I mean, he deserved it. They added some role players, but otherwise no huge signings. They did lose like their best edge rusher in the Super Bowl anyways, Josh Sweat. So they lost some big free agents, but I mean, this is still a very solid team. They had a lot of depth. It's just, can they control the NFC and make the Super Bowl again? I think they got a really good chance. Going in, they could use another wide receiver. I mean, obviously they got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, but a third guy to be able to contribute on a rookie contract would be huge. They could use a little upgrade at guard, maybe bring in an edge rusher to kind of help with some of that production you're losing from Josh Sweat, and then another cornerback or two, I think would be good.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Commanders next.
Let's do it.
So they traded for wide receiver Deebo Samuel.
They did.
Do you remember what they gave up?
And not a lot. Not as much as I thought they should have. But
right.
Yeah. Nick can tell us.
I'm sure.
Nick is a 49ers fan. He'll know what they got for Deebo.
As long as it didn't scare him away because of Katie's birthday. Maybe he forgot it was her birthday and he's like, oh, shit.
I reminded him this morning. It's okay.
You're such a good friend.
Right.
Yeah, so they also traded for offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah. Which is big. I mean, he's a good offensive tackle, so that's big.
Yes. They signed defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw. And I feel like these trades, they boosted their offseason. Will Jaden Daniels continue to play well or have that, you call the sophomore regression?
Yeah.
Sophomore slump, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, you said it wasn't going to happen to CJ Stroud, and it did. So will it happen to Jaden Daniels?
I'm not going to.
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't expect him to be that good this rookie year.
You're very quick to point out when I'm wrong. So thanks for that. You did not miss a beat there. I feel like, the Commanders, they could be looking for guard. They could edge rusher, cornerback.
Yeah.
Running back as well.
Yeah, no, I think I like Brian Robinson, but they could use another thumper there, I feel like. Let's talk about the Giants. They signed 2 quarterbacks. Jameis Winston was their starting quarterback for about 3 days, and then they signed old Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, just getting passed around.
I know, yeah. I don't know. Russell Wilson says he's going to be the starter. We'll see how that goes. I assume he will be. What do you think?
Possibly.
I love Jameis Winston, though.
I know. Well,
I mean, the one thing I will say is these are both great locker room guys. They're both good locker room guys that they're going to support whoever does start, I feel like. So
yeah, okay. I didn't know where you were going with this.
Yeah. They signed cornerback Paulson Adebo, safety Javon Holland. The secondary addition should offset losing Xavier McKinney. But the biggest question is, who will they take at number 3 in the draft? They have that number 3 pick. It's going to be weird to see who falls. Cam Ward is expected to go number 1. So then what do the Giants do, depending on who goes 2, of course? They could use an offensive tackle, defensive line help across the line, cornerback, and maybe even a quarterback, because Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson are not your future.
These are not flashy guys. These are not going to – no. I agree. They're not your future. Russell Wilson is, we'll see where he is next year. And I don't know, Jameis Winston.
Yeah, no,
I don't think he's doing it for me either.
A lot of rumors swirling about Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. So we'll see if they take him. Nick saying that the Niners got a 5th rounder. This is who I knew they got a 5th rounder for. That's why that was in my head, for Debo.
Okay.
And he did know that it was his wife's birthday, but she's home sick in bed. So,
oh no,
Katie, I hope you feel better soon.
That's horrible.
Talk about those Cowboys that we love to hate.
Yes. They traded for cornerback. I am going to butcher this, but Kair Elam. And just yesterday traded for Patriots quarterback Joe Milton.
Yeah.
He was a rookie last year out of Tennessee. We talked highly of him because of his rocket arm.
Yeah.
But I mean, do we think Dak is cooked?
Yeah, I do.
And so I feel like they're making a move for like their future. So we think Milton's it.
I mean, he's got a hell of an arm. I think he could develop into a good quarterback. And I don't think they'll ever win a Super Bowl with Dak. I don't think Dak's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yes, they also signed former Broncos running back Javonte Williams. Rico Dowdle, he signed with the Panthers, and then they signed running back Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
So they've added defensive tackle Solomon Thomas, edge rusher Dante Fowler. I mean, there's some changes there, but overall, I feel like it's a quiet off season compared to last year. They did, they got a lot of bargain signings.
Yeah.
For guys that I think are supposed to be good.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like they signed a lot of guys like, oh, he was supposed to be good, but never panned out on the team he was drafted to. Maybe that'll work out for him. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think that the Cowboys need to be looking at running back, wide receiver. They need a guard and an edge rusher.
Yeah. I don't think Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders can carry the workload for him. Yeah.
Nope. So division betting.
I mean, Eagles are the favorites at -140. So no plus money on the Eagles like in the NFC North. Commanders are +195, Cowboys +750. So a huge drop down to the Cowboys, and then a much bigger one to the Giants. At +2200, 22 to 1. This is the division that there's never a repeat winner. And if there is, rarely. So can I pick the Eagles as the favorites at -140, paying juice? No. We're going Commanders, +195. They were close last year. They were close to it. Now, Jaden Daniels in his second year maybe doesn't have that sophomore slump.
And, so you're saying he doesn't?
Maybe doesn't.
Are you going to do this? Are we going to?
Yeah. Commanders, +195.
No. I meant about Jaden Daniels.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about that all year if he's slumping or not.
But
theoretically, I want him to slump because everybody already is like, well, the Bears should have drafted Jaden Daniels. They messed up. So if he slumps, it looks a lot better for us. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Shout out to Jamie. He had to take off. Take it easy, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right. NFC South is up next. Should we go with that one?
Yeah.
You want me to start it? You want to start it?
Kick us off.
Kick us off with the Bucks, who I love, Baker and the boys. And the boys Yeah. And the boys are back because they re-signed Chris Godwin, who had that bad injury, broke his ankle, I believe it was, mid-season. He's back. They re-signed guard Ben Bredson. They added edge rusher Hassan Reddick, re-signed linebacker Levante David. I mean, those re-signings are huge. Those were top contributors. It's going to just keep that continuity. Didn't add a lot of new people. Didn't need to. It's a weaker NFC South. They looked really good last year. Made the playoffs again. I love me some Baker Mayfield.
I know you do because he's a dog.
He's a dog. They could use edge, linebacker, defensive back, but they're sitting pretty good. I like those Bucks.
They're solid.
Yeah,
they are. Let's talk about the Falcons. There's really just not a lot of notable additions. There's some rumors swirling of Kirk Cousins being traded away, potentially to the Browns. And then, sorry.
It's okay.
It's that fly. Falcons, they're moving forward with last year's rookie quarterback, Michael Penix, as their starter.
Thank you for saying Penix and not Penix.
Okay.
Last time you said Penix. Did you not remember this?
I do remember, but why did you have to go there?
Just did.
Thanks. I don't know. No pass rushing help was added.
No, and they need that.
So that's really what's sticking out to me here. They also, they need to be looking at an edge rusher, looking for a wide receiver, center, linebacker, all things that they should be looking at.
Yeah, I agree. And Nick Fortune in the chat asking, is the Pitt's passion back? It's always back.
Dang
it's
it,
always
no.
back. Yeah, the Pitt's
I'm not doing
passion.
this 4 years in a row.
Michael Penix is going to make him a star again. It'll be there for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then we'll see. We'll reevaluate at that point.
I just can't with you.
Let's talk about the Saints a little bit. They did sign receiver Brandon Cooks, who is older, and I don't think it's a great signing. They signed safety Justin Reed. They also re-signed tight end Juwan Johnson, Chase Young. They overpaid for Chase Young, in my opinion. They didn't do much else. Their cap is strapped. Biggest question for the Saints, in my opinion, is Derek Carr still the guy? I mean, he's okay, but I don't know if he's a league winner.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not. I think we can just go ahead and say that.
He's a serviceable quarterback, but do you think Derek Carr can ever get them to a Super Bowl?
No.
No. So maybe they look at a quarterback in the draft. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They do need a wide receiver, defensive line, running back, and like I just said, maybe they look at quarterback. It depends who's there, I guess.
What do you do as a team like that? Like when you clearly do not have a Super Bowl, like a quarterback who's going to take you to the Super Bowl.
Right. Well, there's only 2 quarterbacks in the league every year that will. There's only 2 quarterbacks every year that'll make the Super Bowl. So, I guess you always got to believe in your guy is my point, but it's got to be hard to believe in Derek Carr at this point, right? I mean, he's not accomplished a whole lot, and especially not for the Saints.
Yeah. So let's finish up this one with the Panthers. They did, as I mentioned earlier, they got Rico Dowdle at running back. They have defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton and Bobby Brown. They got edge rusher, goodness, Patrick Jones. They re-signed J.C. Horn, and then they got safety Trayvon Morig,
yeah.
not ring, rig.
Morig.
This defense is, revamped and should really be better, but I do think that they need to be looking at wide receiver, edge rusher, defensive back, maybe even quarterback. Like, is Bryce Young going to be their guy? Is he the guy?
I say no.
No.
In one of the mock drafts I did, I actually had them taking a quarterback at number 8. Because I don't think Bryce Young is the guy. And they have shot his confidence, I would think. Even if he was going to be able to even have if he had the potential, they had to have killed his confidence, right? They benched him, then they started him. They benched him, then they started him. Like, how do you just keep going after that? I don't know.
Get back in there. You suck. Sit down. Get back in there.
Exactly. We're going to go with Andy Dalton instead. Actually, you go back in there for
nope, that was a mistake.
Andy
Get your
Dalton
ass back
time.
on the bench.
Right. Looking at the division prices, the Bucks are plus 105, Falcons plus 250, Panthers plus 425, ahead of the Saints, who are at plus 750. I think you got to go with the Bucks here.
I do. I agree with that. Bucks being the top.
So weak
I think
division,
it's obvious.
and they're the best.
There's not another team that's as strong as them.
Yeah.
You agree with the rest of that order?
Yeah, I think that's probably how it'll pan out. The Saints may be better than the Panthers, depending on who's quarterbacking the Panthers. I have no idea. Will it be Bryce Young?
Aaron Rodgers.
Will it be Aaron
Plot
Rodgers?
twist.
Right.
He's going there.
Well, he wants to go somewhere he can win, so I don't think that's going to be.
He won't. He's too much of a.
He wants a Super Bowl ride again.
No team that has a chance at the Super Bowl wants Aaron Rodgers right now. So
no. Steelers and Vikings are the only ones left that have been kicking it around.
The Vikings aren't going to the Super Bowl.
Well, maybe with Rodgers they will. That's what people are going to tell you. All right. Before we keep going, Rando, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Underdog Fantasy?
Of course. We're brought to you by Underdog. With Underdog Pick'em, you can play any sport and win up to 100 times your money. Make sure you're subscribed, as we will have Underdog picks for UFL, upcoming CFL, plus season-long NFL. So go sign up with promo code OFFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code OFFSGPN.
And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is your home for AI picks and props, and they're now live in Major League Baseball. Plus, they've got models for NBA and golf. Sign up today with a 7-day to get a 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, we are back. Just have to make a little notes here. You mentioned the CFL. I'm still waiting for one of these teams to be bright enough to sign Brian Scott, so that he'll be on the Underdog and everything. I mean, I watched, the UFL this last weekend, and watching a team like the Houston Roughnecks, and it's like, I don't know for sure, but did this team reach out to Brian Scott? Because if not, what were they doing? He's obviously very legendary in the spring football leagues. Why would you not reach out to him when you're rolling out who you are? I mean, they were terrible. One of their quarterbacks threw for a total of 21 yards, I think it was. That's not good. That was by the third quarter. And then they pulled him and put in Nolan Henderson, who did a little bit better, but still not good. Just crazy. Anyways, this is the NFL show, not the UFL show. You can check out the UFL Gambling Podcast if you want the UFL show. And you can also check out SoYouLikeSports.com, where I have a picks piece and parlay, and Rod's doing a little DFS over there, all kinds of cool stuff. Should we talk about NFC West?
Yeah.
This is what Nick is here for. This is his division for his team.
Because of that, you're going to kick it off with the Rams.
That's right. That's right. We're not talking about those stinking 49ers right now. It's going to be weird to watch the Rams this year because there's no longer a Cooper Kupp there. And Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp.
He is until he's not.
But they do have Devontae Adams.
Yes.
That's going to be weird. Completely different wide receivers. They re-signed tackle Ulrich Jackson. They signed defensive tackle Poona Ford. I mean, the biggest story here is losing Kupp. That hurts. Signing Adams makes it hurt a little less. I get that. But I don't think Adams has as much as he used to, and he's not the same type of receiver as Kupp. He's not going to be the guy that, Stafford can rely on every third down, I don't feel like. So that's going to be interesting. And of course, this team, it all rests on Stafford's health. I know they got your boy Jimmy G. But I don't know if he can replace Stafford. They need offensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback, could use a better tight end as well.
All right. And because we've got Nick listening, we're going to talk about the Seahawks next. Just kidding. I will talk about the 49ers. They, obviously, we mentioned this already, traded away Deebo Samuel. They signed quarterback Mac Jones. They signed...
I was going to say, who I don't think is as terrible as he looked for the Patriots. But anyways, go on.
Okay. They also signed wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson from the Rams. Deebo to DeMarcus. In my opinion, that's a downgrade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's all right. Okay.
Deebo's that do-it-all guy. I don't think
and
DeMarcus can be.
The 49ers, I mean, they cut a lot of guys and didn't sign a lot. Their biggest signing being tight end Luke Farrell.
That's literally who they spent the most money on.
I know.
Like
it feels like it wasn't good enough.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. So they're looking at the draft. They have to be.
Yeah.
They're throwing all their eggs out there. They need to be looking at guard, offensive tackle, defensive lineman, cornerback. Yeah.
Well, and can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? That's a big one too.
It is. What do you like? How do you feel about them? Like, because of his injury history, because of the issues he had last year, and they got rid of Jordan Mason, who showed that he could come in and do it for him.
Now, I don't worry too much.
Nobody can fill CMC's shoes, but
I don't worry too much about, I mean, Kyle Shanahan is pretty good at getting the most out of his running backs, but you're right. Nobody can fit that role that CMC does when CMC is healthy. Nobody can replace the healthy CMC, but yeah, no, it's interesting. Nick saying, whoopsie, sorry. Nick saying it was not a great offseason for us. And Cody pointing out, Mac Jones is serviceable. Didn't have anything good around him. Yeah, I feel like that gave him a bad rap.
Can we just stop saying serviceable?
You don't like that?
I don't like it when you said it.
Well, Nick would like to point out that Isaac Guerrero is still serviceable behind CMC. So there is that.
Okay.
But yeah,
well,
it'll
fine.
be interesting. Seahawks. This is, I feel like, the team that it looks the most different in the NFC. They traded away DK Metcalf to the Steelers. They traded away quarterback Geno Smith to the Raiders. Then they bring in Cooper Kupp to replace DK. They bring in Sam Darnold to replace Geno. Otherwise, they signed edge rusher DeMarcus Lawrence, who's kind of an older guy. I don't know if that's going to help. The biggest question here, is Sam Darnold an upgrade over Geno Smith? I mean, their whole free agency rests on that, right? And they paid him $100 million, I think it was. I don't think he is. I think he looked good for the Vikings because the Vikings have one of the best head coaches. He's very good at getting the most out of his quarterbacks.
He is.
I don't think that it's going to look like the same Sam Darnold.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's definitely, this is a very different Seahawks team.
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, Nick pointing out Seattle doesn't have an O-line. Yeah, Sam Darnold's not going to be running around scrambling. That's just not what he really does well. So anyways, their team needs center, guard, and an edge rusher, but they need to focus on that offensive line. The problem is interior linemen in this draft are not plentiful as far as really talented ones. So, yeah.
Nope.
Why don't you bring us home with the last ones?
All right. That's the Cardinals. They've added edge rusher Josh Sweat. I feel like this is a big addition.
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean, that was the only big name, really.
Yeah. I feel like they should have been more aggressive in adding more players that can be starters, contribute in some way. I think go ahead.
When you're the last team in your division, yeah, you should do more than
probably.
Just
I mean,
one big...
they're basically going to sit at the bottom. That's
right.
Basically what's happening for them now.
Agreed.
But they need to also be looking at like their guard, defensive lineman, cornerback.
Yeah. Yep. I agree there.
Everything. Maybe they should just look at everything.
Look at everything.
Reassess what they're doing.
Kyler Murray may not be the guy. I don't know. He obviously doesn't like Marvinson, as we saw last year in fantasy football.
Jr.
That's right. Let's look at the division betting here. 49ers favorites to win at plus 135. Rams behind them at plus 175. Then it drops to the Seahawks at plus 550 and Cardinals at plus 600. So your top two are close. Their bottom two are close.
Do you see 49ers at the top of this division?
No. I think the Rams are going to win it. I do. Sorry, Nick. There was too much loss for the Niners and they didn't replace it. And they've gotten some picks in trades, but they don't have a ton of draft collateral. So no, I don't like them being the favorites. I wouldn't spend my money on plus 135 on them. If they were 2-1, maybe. But yeah, I'm taking the Rams at plus 175. I think it will be Rams, Niners. Those bottom two, I'm not sure. I think the Cardinals could pass the Seahawks if the Seahawks don't address the offensive line enough.
Potentially.
Yeah. If Sam Darnold's running for his life, they're not going to fare well. Kyler Murray can run for his life and fare well. Sam Darnold cannot. No. Nick does still like me, even though I didn't take the 49ers. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Anything else you wanted to add on the NFC?
No, well, not for the NFC, but we'll be bringing the AFC next week.
Oh yeah, I was going to kind of go over that the plan. Give me the cards for the number. Oh, Cody's taking the Cardinals at 6-1.
What?
You know, I could see it though, because this division is probably going to be very close.
I think this is a close division because it's not like these aren't like great teams.
Right.
Like there's not a clear, like,
no team's going to I don't think any of them are going to win 12 games. So you're going to have a lot of 8 to 10 maybe
Mhm.
wins. So I like what Cody's saying there. I mean, at that point, Cardinals 6-1. FBI Tugboat UFL pre-show. No, not today, but take the Michigan Panthers. They are about to beat the Stallions, and the Stallions will go 0-2. Cody saying that the Cardinals have been a decent team and serviceable, you might say.
Stop.
Tugboat, we don't have UFL, but we do have whiskey.
We do.
Should we jump to the whiskey?
I would like some whiskey. We went, I don't know how far we are in right now, but
45 minutes.
Too long without whiskey on a Friday for this show. For this serviceable show.
I would say, let's see if this is a good whiskey or if it's serviceable. Do you want to read the
history?
Break
it
you
down.
Want me to read the history?
I will. We've tried this before, obviously, so this isn't like one we haven't tried. And I really like it. To me, this is like a special one. Also because like we found it was the only one, and now that we did some more research, I can't find this anywhere. Can't find where like anybody who has it, which I do feel like that's going to disappoint my mom because she really liked it. She also loves peacocks, and there's a peacock on the bottle.
There is.
And
if you're on YouTube, you can see that now. And there's also a purple stopper.
It's indigo. It's indigo.
But it's
stopper. That glass, the indigo glass stopper really got her. The key tied with the ribbon.
It's a neat shaped bottle.
It's a neat shape. Yeah. I like it. But anyway, this is the whiskey. It's made on behalf of Bluestone Manor, which is a restored mansion that used to be a speakeasy that actress Dorinda Medley, like late husband, gifted to her.
Had no idea that this.
Can you gift me a speakeasy?
Right,
we're gonna build one in a mansion.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to gift you. Maybe if I die, maybe you'll have the money to do the speakeasy mansion. I don't know.
But if you don't know who she is, because I didn't know who she was.
I did not either.
She's an actress on Real Housewives of New York.
Well, that makes sense why I didn't know.
Maybe some of you knew that. Real Housewives, lucky you, is not one of those shows that I like got into. Any of them.
Yeah.
Lucky you, because you
lucky
would be
me.
watching.
Oh, I thought you said like you. I was like, no, I absolutely did not.
No.
But if you like it, I mean, you like it.
No, yeah. I've never seen a single episode. So maybe if I had seen an episode.
Is it a reality show?
I don't know. I think
it sounds like a reality show. Real Housewives.
I think it's a reality show.
It's like how we both started reading it like Real Housewives. Sounds real.
No, I think it is because it follows these Real Housewives in these cities because there's all different city shows.
There's more than one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that there was a Real Housewives of New York.
Oh, so. What did you know there was? You don't even know what you knew there was.
I don't know.
Is there there's probably a California one, right?
Probably.
Anyway,
well, no, this isn't about Real Housewives.
Whiskey,
we have never even seen a single episode of it, of any of them. But I know there's multiple. There's different cities. I don't know what the cities are. But anyway.
Cody seems like a Real Housewives expert. Cody, you let us know.
So we, did some research, and it doesn't look like Bluestone Manor is made anymore. It was made in small batches by Spirits Lab Distilling. Mm-hmm. And Spirits Lab Distilling is located in Hudson Valley in Newburgh, New York, right across from General Washington's Revolutionary War headquarters.
Nice.
Go visit the headquarters and get some whiskey across the street. Not anymore. Just kidding, because they don't make this one. But anyway, Spirits Lab combines, tradition and innovation with New York grown grains and botanicals. And they produce small batch craft spirits and premium bottled cocktails as, a homage to the area's rich history and lore. Many spirits are named after, iconic New York places.
Like the Bluestone Manor.
Bluestone Manor.
Got it.
And this is a wheated bourbon. This particular one is then finished in maple casks, aged for a total of 6 years, 5 years in oak barrels, 1 year in casks that are seasoned with Bluestone maple syrup.
It's a long time in a maple cask.
Mhm.
Normally,
Well, it's good. It gave it a really good flavor.
you usually don't like wheated bourbons. You're not as big on them.
Well, I say that, but then some of my favorite bourbons are weeded ones.
True.
But
Like
I think
Weller.
if you're like a basic weeded bourbon, I'm not really a fan.
Okay. No fan of those basic
No,
bitch
no.
wheated bourbons.
No.
Got it.
But yeah, there's really not much more that you can really find on this one. Their last post was from sometime in 2024, which is why I don't really believe it's being made or distributed anymore. And then when I went to like look for it online for shopping, I can't find it.
Mhm.
So if you want a bottle, I know if I find another bottle of this, I'll probably get it. Just I like it.
Yeah.
It's one I know I like. It's an easy.
You either got to search hard or you got to visit the Brass Giraffe.
Yeah.
Or Speakeasy.
The one you're going to gift me.
The one I'm going
I'm
to
just
gift
going to
you.
snap my fingers and it'll be done.
Boom. Done.
No, we're going to have to work hard for that. So let's, one of the things I did see online is like, there wasn't maybe, I don't know if it was just the Bluestone Manor or if it was this particular one, but there wasn't a lot of hype around it or like good reviews.
I saw that
However,
too.
this is good in my opinion. And I kind of think we're a little bit more
snobs. We're whiskey snobs.
I don't like to call us that.
We are,
because we
though.
like whiskey.
We are. While you're tasting that, catch up with the chat. Cody asking if you can bet on the Real Housewives, because if so, he could get into that. Tugboat's not much of a liquor guy himself. Well, that's okay, because we also have our unofficial sponsor, Liquid Death. Get yourself some sparkling mountain water. I mean, obviously, this is very sweet smelling.
Mm-hmm. It's sweet to drink too, which is why like we normally do a whiskey review and then we have it in an old fashioned during the show, then try it neat during our review. I did not want us to waste any of this in an old fashioned. Not saying that it would be wasted, because I do think there's some really good whiskeys that like enhance an old fashioned, and this would enhance an old fashioned. It would give it a, mapley, but I don't want us to use it for that because we can't even buy this.
Yeah. I do want to correct myself. Tugboat is not much of a lacquer guy himself. Got to say it right. Lacquer. Got to get your lacquer. I believe is how that's coming out. So I think this tastes, it has good flavor. I'm getting a lot of char, which I don't remember char to like when we first tried it, char and then maple. There's just a char just at the front and then a maple finish. But
of maple finished whiskeys that we have tried, though, this is my favorite. Yeah,
it's very good. If I had to say something negative about it, though, this is a little thin for a 5-year or 6-year. Yeah.
You got to count the it has legs. What do you mean it's thin?
I think that's from the maple, though.
Look at the legs on this.
But put it in your mouth and tell me if it feels thin. What the? Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about the whiskey.
Okay.
This lady. Can't take her anywhere.
No.
You don't think?
No, it's syrupy.
I guess maybe. I don't know. I disagree.
Put this in your mouth. Tell me if it feels thin.
If I had $1.
For what?
I don't know.
I guess
calling you out for your dirty mind.
I know. I'm horrible today. We should not do this on a Friday after the week we've had. No, and look at the legs on this glass. Like it is like
I don't know.
It's not thin. How are you getting thin out of that?
Okay, how about light?
Light?
It's very light.
Light tasting, heavy on the finish.
Yeah.
Does that
make
sense?
Maybe that's what I'm getting.
It's not thick or not thin. Stop.
Maybe it's light. I don't know. Anyways, it is really, if you like a sweeter whiskey, a sweeter finish on it, find yourself that. It also looks really cool on your bar. It's a cool looking bottle, as you can see. Unique shape. The stopper's cool, the key, everything. A lot went into the bottle, I would say.
Yeah. No, you know me, I judge whiskey not only by the taste, but by the bottle. Because I think if you have a really good whiskey, you should put it in a good bottle.
Agreed. Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I mean, if you go into a liquor store, a lacquer store, if you go into that, there's hundreds of choices.
Mhm.
So you got to have something that if you're new or people haven't heard of you that stands out. And that's usually just the bottle design, right?
yeah, most people, and I'm just going to say this because I don't remember, I think we were even just in Hy-Vee recently. And, we'll just browse to see if there's anything we haven't seen before or whatever. And I saw something and I touched the bottle and it was plastic.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
What is going on? Usually, first of all, if you're going to make or distill something, you don't put it in plastic.
No. I agree with that. I'm there with you.
Like, that just seems like wrong.
I don't remember what it was either, but
I don't either. But I was like, "What the heck? This is a plastic. It's 750 milliliter bottle, and it was plastic.
Plastic, yeah, yeah. That's disgusting.
Yeah, not
Pay up for some glass.
Sorry if this impacts anybody, but I change it, put it in glass.
If you can get Evan Williams Bottled and Bond for $20 in glass, whatever price that was, they could afford the glass.
I wish I remembered what it was. It's not something we've tried before, but I just couldn't believe it was in plastic.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. This was the NFC free agency recap. Next week, we're going to do the AFC and go over the division prices. And then we got our draft preview, and then it's the draft. Excited to see. I love the draft. It's always fun to see who goes where. There's always trades. There's always surprises. It's always crazy. And I love that. I mean, there's always just, you can predict it to a point, but then it's also very unpredictable, right? So I love that part. So we'll be gearing up for that. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Next week, we'll be bringing you
AFC.
and
we will put in the Discord. We're going to pick ahead for a couple episodes here what bottles we're going to be trying, just in case you want to try with us. So
we couldn't do it for this one because you can't find it. So
right, yeah.
And if you can, maybe you should grab it. The maple. I have no idea what their regular is.
Right.
What the normal weeded bourbon is. I don't know.
What I was picking up, I didn't see a lot of reviews on this, but when I was looking at it, what I was picking up is they're just regular bourbon before it goes in the maple is nothing special.
Okay, well
Nobody
then
said it sucked.
Does it also have an indigo glass topper?
I don't know. I did not look at that.
We had never seen it. We just came across it. It was the only one on the shelf. We're just like, it's pretty. It's finished in a maple cask, and it didn't disappoint. So the reviews, then you remembered. It was on the regular.
It was the regular.
But you take anything and you finish it for an entire year in a cask that's been seasoned with maple syrup.
It's going to make it better.
Yes.
If it was bad before, that will make it better. I absolutely agree. So we check the Discord and our X account. We'll post that and put in Michigan kickoff in 20. He's waiting for Perkins or Etling for against the spread bets. I like the under, and I think both Perkins and Etling are going to play, but I do think that Perkins will play more. So I'm still riding with Michigan, even at the -1.5 now. I liked him better as a dog, but I'm still riding with him as a favorite. Thanks for checking in, Tugboat, Cody, Nick, everybody else, Jamie that was on, everybody else that checked in. We appreciate it. And we hope to see you back next week for the AFC. Anything else?
No.
All right. My whiskey is about gone. Going once, going twice.
Sold.